Well, hi, and welcome back to My Coaching Story. This week we travel to Melbourne, Australia for Brett Burton. How are you doing, Brett?
Couldn't be better, Brad. Couldn't be possible.
Fantastic to know.
Having a ball here.
You know, during the last couple of years, people have found it challenging. Some have found exciting out of it. You're still doing all of this coaching, helping a lot of business owners. What is it about coaching that keeps you going? And I guess, why do you love coaching so much?
Yeah, it's a good question. Why do I love coaching? So I don't love coaching, Brad. Slight distinction to that is I love the results that I get with clients from coaching. And, the coaching process itself is neither here nor there. But, seeing the results, the growth of the clients, the growth of the business, the growth of their team, those sorts of things, that's what I absolutely love.
Yeah. When you see I've always said no one actually wants a coach. They just want the results of the coach. That reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and really enjoy that. Particularly the growth of clients and how they, like some clients take a long time to get there, but when they do, it's, incredible, really cool.
So let's go back a long way now, back pre-coaching. What led you to coaching, both career and decision-wise? Why become a coach?
Well, that is a good story because, look, I won't go right back, but I've been in business since my early 20s. So in and out of different businesses, startup businesses normally, then I'd get employed by somebody, then I'd go back into business some type. But the last business that I ran with two other partners, great guys, still really good friends with these guys. And that was an internet service provider. Just 1999 was when we got that business started, some time ago. And we ran that business up until 2005 and then eventually sold it. But the story of that was quite amazing. So we started that business in 99, at the end of 99. And 4 months later, there was a dot-com crash. And, it completely obliterated the whole IT industry around the world. In fact, I believe the NASDAQ lost 80% over pretty much the week following that time.
So good timing is what you're saying.
Oh, mate, we couldn't have picked it any better. But what came out of that was quite incredible from the point of view of, obviously, we had to pivot. So we learned about pivoting very quickly and understood that the business plan was, obsolete. New one came in and we started operating this new business plan. 2 years after that, we were awarded, as in part of many of the titans here in Australia, ISPs, we were awarded Best of the Best from Money Magazine, alongside probably 20 of those other guys as well. And we were a minnow in that sea. But that led to bigger and better things for us. And eventually, as I say, we ended up selling that business in 2005, which was awesome. Invested lots of money away and thought I'd take 12 months off. And that's when my action coach journey started. So a good friend of mine that I knew through the ISP, Anne Raddy, and husband Mike. So Anne caught up with me at some stage during probably 3 months after I'd sold that business and 3 months into my sabbatical, 12-month sabbatical. And we started talking. She said, "What are you going to do next?" I said, "To be honest, I've got no idea, but I'm getting itchy feet. This going slow just doesn't suit me a whole bunch. I'm going to have to do something pretty soon." And she said, "You should do what my husband's doing." And I said, "What's that, Anne?" She said, "I don't know, but I reckon you'd be pretty good at it." And 2 months later, I was in training in Vegas, and it was 2006. And the rest is history.
So over those years, there's got to be some fun stories with clients. Do any clients stand out and say, that was probably my most favorite? There's so many of them, it's going to be hard to pick, but does anyone stand out?
Look, there probably is one standout guy that I'm still coaching now. A young guy at the time, he was 29 years of age, a roof plumber, and he it was him and a labourer. That was it. And he was turning over about $300,000. And I'm still working with him, as I say, today. But his goals, I remember sitting in his tiny little unit in South Yarra here in Melbourne, and a tiny little room which he ran his business from. And he had helicopters, pictures and models all around the place. And he said to me that his dream was to get his commercial helicopter license. And he'd failed quite a few times up to that point. So he was a bit of at least he stuck with it, had stickability. But anyway, he wanted to, and then eventually buy a helicopter. So we've worked together for the last 7 years, still working with him. And so he eventually got his commercial helicopter license. And to do that, he actually had to move out of the state, move to Queensland, and for 6 months, whilst he studied for his commercial helicopter license, whilst his business operated here in Melbourne without him. Now, it was a little bit rough and things weren't perfect by no means, and it was probably way too early for him to exit his business for that period of time, but he got through, still reasonably profitable, not much, but reasonably. It ended up, after about 5 attempts of getting this license, ended up getting it. And, ever since then, he's been flying around and taking all his friends for helicopter rides left, right and centre, really loving it. But the great news is this week he's just come to me and he's talking about buying his battle helicopter. Not going in partnership with someone which is what he was looking to do, but to actually buy it outright himself. So it's just an incredible story. Lovely guy, got married during that time. Bought his first dog, had his first child. It's just the absolute pinnacle of stories as far as I'm concerned, and the results have just been incredible for him.
It's interesting how a lot of people don't really grasp the fact that when you're coaching someone's business, you're coaching them through basically life, not just business. Because if the business is bad, life gets taken down with it. And if the business is doing good, then life can become good too. I think that's a great aspect of it. What do you prefer coaching on most? Some people love marketing and sales, some are more systems and team. Are you across the board, all of the different aspects?
Yeah, definitely across the board. I'm a master coach here for the Asia Pacific, so I do marketing. I do 2 days marketing for our 10-day. So I've always enjoyed marketing. That's the success of our ISP was because of the understanding of marketing, the marketing plan that we put together, and the pivot that we had to do during that really hard time. So I really enjoy the marketing side of things, but it's gone past me, Brad. It's just, I come from the IT industry, and I understood websites, and I understood all the back ends, and I understood all the marketing around it back 15 years ago. But today, I've got no idea. I'm just totally out in the woods.
I love the fact that now, and I know for us in our businesses, when it comes to Instagram, we have specific people that's all they do. They don't do anything else. There's Pinterest. They're only Pinterest people. And so it really comes down to finding the expertise in every single area nowadays. And I coach a lot of my clients into hiring expertise, be either in the firm or in their company or outside. Now, when it comes to programs, you've done a lot of different things over the years. You've done a lot of education programs and you've built a lot of community with your clients. A lot of your clients have said that community aspect is really important to them. Tell me more about why you build the community of them and why you do those programs.
Yeah, for stickability. I honestly believe, I said this particular client's been with me for 7 years or so. Most of my clients that I work with today have been with me for around at least sort of 5. Now I've gone from 20 clients and group coaching down to around about 10 clients these days, because I'm sort of at that end where I just want to enjoy what I do, and I do.
I'm not retiring, but I'm not going fast.
That's right. Just back it off a little bit. To do the things that I want to do, and enjoy the money and the time that I have available to me now. And all those things that I wanted to do as a kid, race cars and, you know, just do stuff. So the community side of things to me is most important simply because I believe it holds those clients together. They love getting together for our 90-day planning sessions, our growth clubs. We've been doing those since day dot. You know, we can get up to 150 to 170 people in the room for each of those when we do them. So that's in the past. I don't know if we'd get that sort of number now, obviously, because we're all sort of at that age where we're pinning it back a little bit. But even if it was 50 or 60 people, they still have this company. We go out for drinks afterwards. We get to know them personally, get to build those relationships outside of the coaching process. We invite their wives or partners along as well. So we get to know everyone. And, you know, it's just a really good, fun atmosphere. And the clients love talking to each other, and they love the different aspects of what each of them are working on and the results that they're getting. And putting a new client in those groups, you don't have to ever sell a client. I haven't done marketing for myself for many years now. All of my clients come from referrals or however they come to me. I don't do diags anymore. I stick them in a growth club or a workshop with our clients, and I let the clients sell for me. And if they want to join me, then great. If they don't, no big deal. You know, so it's pretty easy now.
You know, when you look at, some of the people that you've coached over the years and the amount of jobs you've created, must be pretty proud to see those number of businesses that have grown because of what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I couldn't tell you the amounts of numbers that's my dog going off. You've seen the background. I couldn't tell you how many team members we've put on. But of course, you know, that is one of you asked the question before, what do I enjoy doing from what area do I like working in the most? You know, financials, blah, 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 marketing. I love the recruitment side of things. I really do enjoy getting involved in that area and doing the 4-hour recruitment sessions and group recruitment sessions and so on. So that's a big part of what I do, and involving DISC in that whole conversation as well. So, as I say, I couldn't tell you how many people, but just watching businesses grow, but not only that, watching the people within the businesses, their team leaders grow as well and get just as committed and engaged in the coaching process as what the client does. It's the part that I'm really enjoying at the moment, for sure.
Now, flip that over. You've been a part of the Action Coach community now for 17, a lot of years.
Yeah.
How has that impacted you and what you've done with your clients and the work you do?
Look, it's really interesting from the point of view of when I got involved in Action Coach, I couldn't see myself really going much past 5 years. Everything I've done in the past, all the business startups that I'd ever got involved in, they were probably about 3 to 5 years before I'd get a little bit sick and tired of it and want to move on and do something else. So when I joined Action Coach, it was never 16 years down the track. I never thought of it like that. It was, get in, learn a little bit about coaching, understand it, and then I'd probably go and start up another business, and that would be, the cycle. Of course, that didn't happen, and the reason for that, I can't put my finger on it except to say that I really enjoy the results that I get with clients. But every day is a new challenge. Every client's a new challenge. Not as if I've got to go out and find something else to challenge me, because there's always new challenges along the way. So that has been a really interesting aspect of, where I saw myself originally and where I am now. But as far as the community and what I've been able to get from the community and where I am now in regards to wanting to give back to the community that's helped me and supported me to get to where I am and to allow me now to have the flexibility of time. So one of the things that I'm really enjoying doing is the training, getting involved with the 10-day training and being able to give back to the people in regards to helping them understand the journey that's facing them. And involved in that journey. So that's been really cool for me. Now, did I answer the question that I'm on a tangent, mate?
Yeah. Ultimately, when you look at a community such as ours, it's a community of leaders, and that's what it is. And to keep leaders together, as you said, we have a lot of people that are like you. They've built companies, sold companies, they've run great, massive companies, have done all sorts of things. But when they find their passion of coaching, it's kind of like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. You say the passion of coaching. As I said before, I don't particularly like the coaching process at all, but I am absolutely passionate about seeing the clients get results, and it's just it makes you feel real cool, really good. Yeah.
Now, the retirement question, and we can have this debate every year from now till the day dot, but I think you'll keep coaching forever. I mean, I don't know. There's always going to be a few clients there that you want to just keep coaching and do a bit, and someone will come and ask for coaching. Where do you see your future for coaching?
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. I can't see myself really giving it up, to be honest. Look, my work ethic comes, I guess, from my father, who passed away, unfortunately, last year. And so he was still, like 12 months prior to passing away at 86 years of age, he was still going to his place of work where he worked many years ago. He ran his own business, and he went there just to catch up with guys. He wasn't doing anything because he didn't have a business longer, but he just catch up with people coming and going. And, he really enjoyed that. He tinkered around his little workshop and really enjoyed himself. So he pretty much worked all of his life. Interesting, isn't it, when we talk about, retirement is, knocking out the two ends of the coffin and jumping in. It's like, for him, that's exactly what it was. As soon as he had nothing to go to, he really started to decline. So, look, for me, I can't see myself working quite as hard as what he ever did. I want to spend some time and enjoy some time and start traveling and follow the Formula One Grand Prix circuit around the world and all those sorts of things. Got lots of goals that I'd like to, make sure I get achieved beforehand. So my retirement's going to be a little bit different than his, but I can't see myself ever really just giving it all away. So, if I am working with 5, 10, maybe 12 at the most type clients over the next 5, 10 years, then I reckon I'd be pretty happy with that.
Brilliant. Well, Brett, on behalf of all your clients over the years, I want to say thanks for doing what you do. There's been so many lives that you've impacted, and look forward to watching as you follow the Formula One and still keep coaching people all around the world. Thanks, right, mate. Thanks for giving us your time here on My Coaching Story.
Appreciate your time, Brad. Thanks, mate.